A country riddled with inadequacies, we only hear stories of the less fortunate. Yet, next to nothing is done about the hundreds, no, thousands of unique stories we hear. You see, it ultimately boils down to two choices: to accept what we hear as a part and parcel of our life, or to accept the responsibility to change these stories and through them, the lives of the people involved.
With a team of 50 diverse individuals pursuing various facets of education and life, we are united under one team and inspired by one thing only: the will to help those who require it. We are in Actus Shaheed Bhagat Singh College.
भूख ने जिंदगी को हर रंग दिखा दिए, जो अपना बोझ ना उठा पाए उनसे पत्थर भी उठवा दिए. Food is what sustains us. Even then, an adequate diet, or do waqt ki roti, is written in the fates of just a few.
The condition arising from a deficiency or imbalance in the intake of nutritious food is termed as malnutrition. Malnutrition was the primary reason behind 69% of deaths of children below the age of 5 in India, as per a UNICEF report in 2019. The report further goes on to say that every second child in India belonging to that age group is affected by some form of malnutrition. These alarming statistics compelled us to act, and that's when we lit the flame for Project AHAR.
With Project AHAR, our main aim is to increase affordability and accessibility of quality food to the underprivileged masses. Through constant efforts, we provide permanent employment and financial security to migrant workers who were earlier unemployed or underemployed.
While planting the seed of Ahar, our research and development team came across Mr. Rajbir, a migrant worker with an income that was dwindling as a result of the seasonality of his work. We saw entrepreneurial potential in him and recognized that with the requisite training, he could establish his own food business.
Following this, we reached out to more migrant workers and organized proper training sessions to help inculcate in them the practice of hygienic cooking. The use of hairnets, aprons, and gloves, along with the provision of soap as well as hand sanitizers, is emphasized upon during their training.
The food at each of our hand carts is freshly prepared every morning, and there is no compromise on the quality of resources used. Raw materials are centrally sourced from trusted wholesalers operating within Chandni Chowk, whereas water is obtained from the pipelines regulated by the MCD.
Keeping in mind the aspect of regulatory compliance, we have applied and already obtained FSSAI licenses for certain handcarts. We also undertake periodic inspections and take feedback from the customers, thus ensuring adherence to the set food safety and hygiene standards.
The fixed cost of setting up a handcart is incurred by us. Two people are employed per handcart who run it and bear the variable cost. The raw materials are procured from a central source, thereby reducing the routine expenses. Our initial investment is systematically recovered over a period of 6 months in the form of monthly installments which we charge from the vendors, after which the ownership of the handcart is transferred to them. This enabled us to fulfill the entrepreneurial aspect with maximum efficiency.
Prices ranging from Rs 10 to Rs 40 per plate are set to compete with other stalls. However, our objective is different. This modus operandi, applied strategically, resulted in setting up 20 food stalls in Delhi NCR in 2.5 years, with 40 people hailing from different backgrounds, coming together to earn a livelihood.
In our pursuit of achieving sustainability, we introduced the AHAR application, which allows consumers to get directly in contact with our vendors, thereby diminishing our roles as an intermediary. It has also increased and stabilized the average earnings of our vendors, which was highly erratic previously. Through our digital platform, we have established a food delivery system targeting night shelters across Delhi NCR. Our handcarts now provide food to over 100 people in these night shelters on a regular basis.
Expanding our project further, we have also started off with Aha Bakery in collaboration with Safai Karamchari Andolan, an NGO wherein we train 50 manual scavengers from the identified community, thus providing them with a regular source of income. Having a chain of 30 local shops, college canteens, and metro confectionaries with an average selling of 10 brownies per day, we are able to generate a revenue of Rs 1,80,000 per month.
In the year 2018, we collaborated with Ashray Adhikar Abhiyan, also known as AAA, night shelters in North Delhi, wherein we serve 30 night shelters via our handcarts. Taking that initiative forward, this year we have collaborated with Society for Promotion of Youth and Masses, that is SPYM, where we go ahead and serve 40 night shelters in South Delhi.
Ahar has had a direct impact on the workers at the stall as well. With 20 handcarts strategically spread across Delhi NCR, we have managed to increase the income of 40 beneficiaries. Each of our handcarts serves a meal to about 50 to 100 customers every day. That means, within a year, we have been able to impact the lives of 4 lakh people by providing healthy and hygienic food. This has increased the annual revenue of our handcarts to 1 crore rupees in 2019 to 20.
We initiated Ahar with a simple and clear vision, that is to ensure that everyone gets affordable, hygienic food and vendors become financially stable. A vision which has now transformed into a full-fledged network of successful food vendors.
While the world progresses onto a cleaner future, India stands at the cusp of the old and the new. With the government introducing Gobardhan Yojana in April 2018, we at Enactus SBSC felt that starting such a movement that transcends the entire country could only be successful if it culminated from India's roots.
Unlike natural gas, biogas is carbon neutral and does not add to greenhouse gas emissions. Further, any consumption of fossil fuels replaced by biogas will lower carbon dioxide emissions. With this in mind, we set up Project Vidyut with the aim of providing an alternative source of energy that is both cheap and environment friendly at the grassroots level.
Firstly, a majority of the households lacked access to LPG facilities and depended on cow dung and firewood as good cooking fuel. Secondly, the few households which had access to such facilities were forced to buy it from the black market at Rs 70 per kg as compared to the subsidized rate of Rs 52 per kg. This was due to a lack of government ID proofs. Thirdly, the women in the village remained unemployed despite their willingness to work. This was due to an unavailability of work close to their homes.
Considering all these aspects, we came up with a solution that would provide both employment to women as well as a safer and cheaper fuel for cooking food to the households. This involved setting up biogas plants in the village in order to mitigate their dependence on fossil fuels and firewood and offset it by providing biogas at cheap and affordable rates. Additionally, the production of biogas yields nutrient-rich slurry, which upon drying can be sold in the market as organic manure. Looking at cheap organic manure as a potential disruptor in the fertilizer market, we realized that with proper training, we could help the women in the village become entrepreneurs.
Technical training has been provided to 6 women from Jaunapur, wherein they learned not only how to operate biogas plants, but also to manage the production and sales of organic manure. Further to this, they earned 12,000 rupees per month for handling the operations of the plant. This then became our entrepreneurial model. We are now proud to announce that 4 2 cubic meter biogas plants have already been installed in Jaunapur that cater to the energy needs of 5 households. Each plant involved an initial investment of only Rs 21,775. Every plant produces 0.7 kg equivalent of LPG and yields 30 kg manure every day. This biogas is then sold to the households at 23.8 rupees per kg, allowing each house to save over 9,300 rupees per year. The manure is then sold in the market at Rs 15 per kg, garnering total revenue of Rs 4,32,000 per year.
To inculcate increased efficiency in plant management and operations, we have developed a mechanism working on the principle of labor specialization. Different tasks ranging from plant feeding and maintenance to manure production and sales have been systematically divided amongst the stakeholders. Furthermore, we have outsourced manure packaging to 4 women in collaboration with Love Care Foundation. A strategic reinvestment plan is already in place for scalability of the project. Each phase consists of a 6-month period, at the beginning of which we will set up 1 additional plant in the area. adding to our revenue cycle and enabling us to reinvest further in the project. We have created a revenue cycle wherein Rs 4,000 is set aside each month for the purpose of reinvestment. Furthermore, with excessive accreditation to our project, our stakeholders and outside investors have been reaching out to us to reinvest in our project.
When we were scouting for potential communities in Gurgaon, Noida, Okhla, or even Faridabad to set up our new biogas plant, we came across another severe problem that many underprivileged communities faced and one that needed an immediate solution. This was a lack of lighting. Keeping our goal of providing affordable and clean sources of alternate energy in mind, we came up with a solution which would not only help expand the purview of our project, but at the same time allow us to develop trust and bonding with our new communities. Our team went on to distribute and install solar powered sensor lights for free in the streets, homes, as well as public areas of these poorly lit communities.
Each time a man stands up for an ideal, or acts to improve the lot of others, or strikes out against injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope, and crossing each other from a million different centers of energy. Those ripples build a current that can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and poverty. Those ripples of hope continue to inspire an actor Shaheed Bhagat Singh College to go above and beyond.